Hello, welcome to McBoss Capital Channel. My name is Michael Chu. Today is Monday, April 6th, 2026, at 9:51 a.m. Mountain Time, which is close to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. The volume is a lot lower today. Nasdaq is down 12% volume. NYSE is down to 2% volume. Market a little bit choppy this morning. It is currently green. Nasdaq is up zero point 0.3. Dow is up 0.09. S&P is up 0.13. Let me just jump to the. There's not much news other than in terms of the war stuff, there is supposed to be an update by tomorrow evening, I believe. It's Tuesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And here's some quote from Trump posting on social media. Tomorrow, Tuesday, will be power plant day, bridge day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There'll be nothing like it. They urge Iran to open the strait or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. So that is a pretty big statement there. So obviously, if they do hit those power plant and bridges, that will be pretty bad for a lot of people there. Axios also reports Sunday night that U.S., Iran, and regional mediators were discussing terms for 45-day ceasefire, but it's not clear that an agreement is near. Um, okay, so there is a press conference this morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, so maybe watch to see what he says. But again, it's going to come down to that deadline. Whether it'll push that deadline again, it's hard to say. Whether there's actually, any sort of agreement of a ceasefire, that who knows, right? So the market is probably still nervous about this main story. That is really the big thing here, and yeah, there is, I believe, the upgrade on Netflix. So we can take a quick look at that. Um, so it has reversed from this morning, and actually this morning when I look at a lot of the stocks on the move, which by the way there isn't much anymore. So because the volume is so low today. So again, I usually find it's best not to act when there's low volume. Even if some of these stocks are up, I just kind of feel like, I mean, obviously they might have their own story, so that's something you need to be, follow. But in general, like, yeah, it's not, Netflix, yeah, had an upgrade this morning. Look, it did reverse quite a bit, so that is the problem. A lot of stocks were up this morning, but they have been pulling back and even lower than Friday's close. So that's the negative, right? Again, this market is just very volatile, very turbulent, even for stocks that are having strong upward momentum. They're not easy to trade. So just be aware of that. Anyhow, again, we in April now, we have earnings season coming up. So lots of things happening, but really this is just the beginning of the week. Who knows where we'll end up? But yeah. Let me jump to QQQ now, just to look at where the index are. We did bounce back quite a bit. Actually, I talked about this on the weekend video. Surprisingly, the market closed at the top range, and especially after Friday morning, Thursday morning low, that is incredible to bounce back and close the week strong. So today, we kind of in the middle, like, not moving too much. Like we're up 0.4% at this moment, but it was kind of fluctuate this morning, near neutral, for the day, and now it's up slightly, right? So it's just lots of, just kind of going sideways right now. You can see from the intraday chart, not doing too much. Let's go to SPY. Yeah, it's also up a little bit, not too much. We come back to the short-term 21-day moving average, so that looks slightly better, yeah. I think QQQ was also at the pink line, right? Let me see. Yeah, so it's also at the, so both of them are at the pink line, and then Dow is also near the pink line and the black line there. So they're all similar. And then we have IWM, Russell here, which is probably the best at this moment because it is the only one that is above the pink line, which is the 21-day moving average. So let's just quickly take a look at XLF here, financial, because I see a lot of financials green this morning. So this is probably the reason why it is moving above the 21-day on the index. So that's slightly better right? So at this moment, who knows, right? Things change very fast, So, but at this moment, Russell seems to be leading all the other index. So we'll see what happens as this continues, whether we can build momentum. But again, tomorrow is a big day because, just like I think last Tuesday when Trump was announcing what's going to happen, obviously they say, oh, we're going to hit them hard and so forth the next 2, 3 weeks. So this is the moment coming up, whether it will delay it or whether there'll be a ceasefire, no one knows. This is really putting the market in a damp position, like a dampened position where things are just not moving as well, and even for the stocks that are moving, is very very choppy. So let's go to again like stocks on the move. We have TVTX moving, STX 65% volume. That's pretty strong. Let's look at STX Seagate here. Bouncing up near the previous high. This is pretty strong move today. It has pulled back to the lows right now, but still up 6% for the day. So again, the stock, some of these leaders are still moving, but you can see recent action is very choppy. Like, there's a lot of markup there because I've been trading it, but it is very choppy. Um, it is what it is. Like, that's the risk you have to take if you want to trade. And WDC here, also bouncing back. Yeah, so this is WDC SNDK. This is the all the data storage firm. Obviously, they're in the hot area still. Again, all the stocks are up today. I think there's one more that I forgot. Oh yeah, MU, right? MU also bouncing back today after, a significant drop previously, but here is coming back slowly, but it is nonetheless coming back. So this one is lagging, but still, the whole group is just continue to be strong. And under in this market condition, so can you imagine if this market conditions improve, those guys will probably continue to lead again. So it's just an amazing group. We also see CN, Lumentum, VF, all those fiber optics, also bounced this morning. But again, they're trading at a low range today. They all pull after hitting new high this morning. They all pull back. Again, the market is very choppy, and the only problem here is Lumentum also making new high this morning, pulling back right now. And then we have VIAV in that group as well. Similar action, yeah. So it's just definitely volatile, for a lot of those stocks. Let's see what else show up here. We have Dell, Marvel, what else? UI, right? Those are doing well too. Industrial, we see AIR, GLW. Let's take a quick look. This aerospace defense bouncing slightly today. And then we have Corning, GLW here also trying to bounce. So this one has found some support this morning, so that looks pretty good. And this is above the short-term 10-day. So setting up, it's starting to build the right side of the base here, setting up for sure. So that looks pretty good. We have KNSA from the health area. Looks like some of the gold stocks and silver stocks are still moving. Let me just quickly take a look at the price here. GLD not moving much. This gold price here, and then we have SLV, the silver price also not moving much. So they're both kind of just stuck slightly below their 10-day. But for some reason, Algo is doing really well. This is again outperforming the market, the index itself, the gold price. This is hitting new high on RS rating. And SSRM, which is more focused on silver, also doing really well here, also outpacing its peers here and the whole group. So those two are doing really well. And we have AEM moving slightly. On the financial side, not many show up, but like I said, a lot of them are green today, outperforming slightly. MRX is one that has been showing up on stocks on the move lately. This has been a really strong move. Look at that slope right there. This is in financial service area, UK base. Yeah, RS rating is strong. So again, very hard to trade this market. There's not many stocks on the move, especially in this type of environment where there's just too many macro news that affect the market. Um, you know, it's very hard to trade growth stocks that don't have volume support because it might be up today even without volume support, but tomorrow when volume comes in the sell side, it will go down pretty hard. And so that is the biggest problem with trading in this environment right now is just not enough volume support. They can go down easily. But obviously, there's still a lot of stocks that are, outpacing the general market. So there's still some stocks moving. If we look at let me see here, the market trend from the weekend, we talk about how it has improved significantly. Even though the index hasn't moved much, but the growth stocks on my list, almost half of them have set up for is now in the uptrends, which is incredible. Like in such a short period last week, we were able to go back into uptrend with almost half. That just shows me there is some potential sell right now. Now again, anything can happen. But when things are look the worst, when everyone's like, worried about tomorrow, what's gonna happen, yet the growth stocks are setting up right now. So that's very interesting, right? Now, I'm not saying this is gonna plan out, to be positive, but I think we kind of have to like, you know, when everyone's on one side of the boat, that's usually what happened. It kind of swing back the other way after. So just be mindful of that don't be too bearish at this moment. We do see accumulation the whole week, last week, most of the days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But again, the volume support is just a little bit lower than I'd like to see right now. So again, today is Monday. Some people are off, so not much trading. Maybe I don't know, but it's definitely lower volume today. And so yeah, thank you all for watching. This is hope you guys have a good day. And again, tomorrow 6 p.m. is when the announcement will be made by Trump. I think on air whether what they're gonna do about the whole Iran situation. So I think the whole market is just waiting for that moment. And so, yeah, I wouldn't be betting on either side too strong, like whether you're bull or bear, just because it's basically a gamble. If I'll see. Yeah. So thank you all for watching. Have a good day. Bye now.